Good morning. It's maybe not morning where you are, but welcome back to my channel. If you're watching this, I'm so glad. Here's a kiss. Today, I am talking about something that I'm very, very passionate about, that I feel a lot of people need to understand when they are working on themselves, working on growth, working on being a different person and changing and evolving. But also, here's my cat up here. Wait, this is my new cat, Bobby. Okay, she's so cute. When it comes to healing and working on yourself in shadow work, there is a stigma around healing that it is easy, that it's bliss, that it's peaceful, and that is also true. But one thing about healing is that you will understand the paradox, you will understand complexness, because healing is not all sunshine and rainbows. Healing also has a very heavy emotional aspect to it, also physical. Healing is also uncomfortable, and a lot of people don't know that. They expect to go into healing and their journey with a bunch of good and no bad. And so they get really confused or feel like they're stuck when they go through these transformational stages. What I like to kind of label what I'm going to talk about today is growing pains, because it really is. So if you don't know me and you're new to this channel, I started my healing journey working on myself, loving myself around a little more than a year ago. And so I've had multiple periods of time throughout these years where I feel like I am stuck, or that everything is falling apart, or nothing is happening and everything is getting mixed up, and you're not getting to where you want to be. You're not getting your goals. You're not getting your manifestations. Everything just feels like shit and you can't get out of that funk. What a lot of people don't tell you is that's normal. It's very normal, and it's going to be part of your process for the rest of your life. To explain it in more of a sciencey way, your body, when it is releasing something, it has to get brought up. So for example, if you're a person who hasn't worked on yourself, that's your nervous system is the same. But if you're a person who switches it and it constantly is pouring something new into them and different and trying to retrain their brain and their subconscious, it is a process of bringing all of that up so it can be released and let go. When you're in these periods, it feels like the things that you've been working so hard on to fix are coming back. And what I like to say is it comes back at an all-time high. And it's like almost like a test, but I don't like that word when it comes to growth. But it really is. It's a test to see for yourself if you're going to end these cycles truly. Because when you're going through these transitional periods, it is the hardest ever for you to not fall back into it, because it's so prominent in your head. What actually is going on is your body is releasing this so it can expand, and so what you have been trying to become better at can actually integrate, because it has space now, because you've let go and released all of this nasty, icky, gross shit. The thing that's so hard about these periods is it genuinely sucks. It really does. You feel foggy, you feel uncomfortable, you feel angry, you feel lost, you have no clarity. It's in those moments that it's hardest for you to persevere and keep going. But I'm telling you, that's what's gonna get you to where you want to be, is going through those rough patches and giving yourself the capacity to hold more, have more knowledge, have more wisdom, and learn from these experiences. It's just so important that you're not thinking that you're backtracking in any way, because you're not. That is proof that you're having real growth, and what you've been doing is working, because your body is actually letting go of it. But it has to come up to get let go. A lot of the times when we go through these periods where we are confused and old things are being brought up and we're just like, what the hell is going on? Our mind is not our friend, and our body and mind is really trying to hold on to that predictability because that's what it's used to. That's what makes them safe. That's what is predictable for your body. And so your mind will not be your best friend during this time period. But what I always like to say, and I will keep saying this, is you should be an observer of your mind. You make your decisions, you make choices, but for most of the time when you're just thinking, stop relating so much emotion to your thoughts and your identity, because you are reaffirming those old beliefs when you keep paying attention to those thoughts and giving them energy. You have to be able to get into a mind space where you can observe what you're thinking and then let it go, because it's not the truth. We have so much random thoughts, and a lot of times we think something and all of a sudden we think it's true and we think that that's going to happen. Like, no, we just think all the time, and we have to get into a spot where we can observe those thoughts and then let them go so they're not holding us back. A lot of times we forget that we can be an observer of our own minds, so we get in the loop of overthinking and thinking our thoughts are real. So it can be really hard to kind of detach from your thoughts and what you're thinking, but it's very possible, and it will help you get through these periods of transformation and actual tangible growth. Also, I just want to say that you're not alone. Some of these times when you're going through these periods of time where you just feel off and things feel truly uncomfortable, because that's the thing, this process is genuinely so uncomfortable because it is stretching you. You will have to go through that discomfort because it is genuinely expanding you and growing you, but it is uncomfortable as hell. It's yucky, and you don't want to feel that way. You have to build the tolerance to sit with discomfort. But anyways, what I was going to say is that you're not alone, and a lot of the times we feel alone when we go through these periods, but you are not alone ever. I'm telling you, you are okay, and everything you're feeling is valid, and it's all for a purpose. It's all growing you to be the best version of yourself that you can possibly be. But that being said, there are some things that you can do that I've learned that can genuinely help you through these time periods, kind of like need tos for growing and going through these uncomfortable discomfort phases in your life. So one is trust, just trusting yourself, one, that you're going to be okay, you're going to make the right decisions, and that everything is going to work out, even though like your current reality, everything looks a mess and it looks like a storm, that you are going to be okay and everything will be worked out, and you have to trust that. You have to trust yourself. A lot of the times for new things to come, the universe has to really shake up your reality so things can get unanchored and then left behind, so you can have room for new. But if you believe in universe and magic and spirit, trusting that you are going to be okay and that they always have your back, always. Next is surrender to the change, surrender to the growth, and kind of just accept it, because sometimes we like to think that we can control everything that's going on in our lives, and we can make the situation less bad and kind of determine what happens, and that's not the case. It will drive you crazy if you keep thinking that you can control what's going on. So just surrendering and giving up control to the universe, going with the flow, especially during these times, because you can really, really, really work yourself up and build more stress on top of the stress you already have from just thinking. Half of the things that you're stressing about, you can't really do much about it. The next is also feel and not suppress your emotions. Like I said previously, you're having to bring up all this old so it can get released, and that can be very fucking uncomfortable because obviously the things we bury down and don't want to feel, we buried them down for really specific reasons. It can be exhausting having to feel all of those heavy emotions and kind of process it all. You can be aware about an emotion that you might be feeling, but you can still not feel it or push it down. And so learning to actually feel your emotions and make time for them, feel everything, feel it all, because that's how it needs to get let go. You might not know why you're feeling off or stuck or no clarity and foggy. You gotta feel it until you don't anymore, until it's gone, so it can be gone, so you can alchemize that. Next is rest. Rest is so important in general. Prioritize your sleeping, especially during these time periods, because your body is working overtime to release this and change, and your body's also feeling uncomfortable. And so it's important that you're giving yourself the necessary rest so your body can recharge and rejuvenate after these kind of exhausting periods. Hydrate and drink your water, also important. This one is something that I really struggled with when I first would go through these kind of transitional periods, is giving myself grace. One, because they're hard. It's hard times, physically and mentally, just kind of exhausted. It's so important that you're giving yourself grace and releasing this unnecessary pressure about anything really in your life that's going on, because you can only take so much. It's okay to just be like, I'm really exhausted right now and I need some sleep. I need some rest. I need to do something that will fill my cup. These periods really just take a lot out of you, take a lot of energy out of you. So you need to be doing something that will make you feel good. The unnecessary pressure is not worth it, because these times are already hard enough as it is. So the extra pressure is not needed whatsoever. Let go of it and give yourself some grace, because you deserve it. Next is shifting your perspective. I think that a teeny perspective shift can get you through some of the hardest times in your life. Changing your perspective from this is terrible, this sucks, I'm stuck, I don't know what to do, everything is not going how I wanted it to go, to switching that perspective to this is happening for a reason and I'm going to be okay. I'm going to learn something from this. This will make me a better person. I will grow from this, etc., etc. That mindset is so much more effective because it's getting you out of that low vibrational emotional state and then taking you to a more peaceful state. Next, ground yourself. Please ground yourself, go outside, do grounding meditations, ground yourself back into the reality, put yourself back into the present, because we can get so in our heads all the time, especially during these time periods. So ground yourself. Look up the best ways that work for you and start doing it, because I'm telling you, it will make this process 1,000 times better. I don't know why we go through periods like this, but all I know is that it's real concrete evidence that what you're doing is working and that your hard work is being integrated and that you're shifting. And things just start clicking, and stuff that you worked so hard on is part of your foundation and comes natural and easy to you. So start becoming aware of these cycles so you can go through them with the most delicate ease, and you can come out of it with tangible growth. These periods of time will teach you so much in hindsight, and a lot of times throughout your journey, when you look back and reflect, you'll see that these periods of time were 100% necessary and brought you to where you are today. Take the time to be aware and understand when you are working on yourself and growing, to understand these cycles and these patterns and make it better for yourself, and not get yourself confused with being stuck or foggy. Allow and embrace the transformation and the change. And that's all I have right now to tell you. If you like this video, comment down below. And if you stay till the end, I love you more than I like anyone else. I love you, stars.